Hi everyone, I'm Brooke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you already saw my first pre-op video, you know that I'm getting double jaw surgery to correct my underbite, also known as a class 3 malocclusion, on August 3rd. Today I'll be discussing what I talked about with my surgeons at my pre-op appointment, such as swelling, how to manage pain, what I'll be able to eat, numbness, how my face may change, how much they're going to move my jaws, and a lot of other stuff. In my last video, I failed to mention that I also have an open bite and a cross bite, so I'm going to show you guys what that is really quickly. An open bite is when there's no vertical overlap or contact between your anterior incisors. So when I bite down, you can tell there's no contact there. Basically, my upper and my lower jaw are kind of like this. And a cross bite is a misalignment of the jaws, so as you can see, my midlines don't match up. When I got to the office, I was greeted by a really awesome nurse, and I got 2 impressions done on my upper jaw and 1 on my lower jaw. And the reason for doing 2 on the upper is because they're pretty difficult and hard to take. You want to make sure they're very accurate, so that is why we did 2. And then after that, my mom was brought into a room with the nurse and we talked about things to expect after the surgery. To start, he told us that I am going to expect a lot of swelling after the surgery. If you have looked up pictures of people after the surgery, you can tell they're pretty swelled in the cheek region, and it's a lot. Go look at some pictures if you haven't already. And that swelling can last up to about 6 months. By 3 months, your face looks pretty much normal, but there's still some residual swelling left in the face that will go down within the next 3 months. He told us that the first 4 to 5 days after the surgery, I should be icing every 2 to 3 hours for about 30 minutes each time. And after those first 4 to 5 days, you should start actually putting heat on your face to regenerate the nerves. So you do that every 2 to 3 hours for about 15 minutes on each side. And like I said, that helps wake up the nerves a little bit because your face just went through a traumatic experience. Most of the time people are pretty numb after surgery, so they don't necessarily need to take any pain medication, but if I happen to need it, I'm getting prescribed the liquid oxycodone, and I can take up to 5 milliliters of that, but my nurse recommended taking 2.5 because you don't want to overdo it and get sick if you don't really need it. And he said that once you start feeling slightly uncomfortable, take it then. Don't wait until the pain is excruciating. Another thing to expect is a lack of sleep. You're probably only going to get 1 to 2 hours from being so congested and having a hard time breathing. My nurse recommended to sleep whenever you feel tired, so don't try to stay up during the day and power through it and be a toughie because your body just went through a major surgery and you need to take care of yourself. After the surgery, you're obviously going to have stitches in your mouth, so when you get home and when you're finally able to somewhat brush your teeth, you're going to need a little baby toothbrush, and you're going to have to lightly just brush the tops and bottoms of your teeth. It's going to be hard because your face is so swelled, but you need to be careful because if you end up tearing an incision or ruining a stitch, then you're going to need to go back in there and get it fixed, which is not going to be fun. Another thing that I learned in my pre-op appointment that I was definitely not expecting was they said that I'm going to have 2 incisions on the side of my face. I don't know exactly where, somewhere in this region. And the reason for doing that, they don't do it a lot, but the reason why they're doing that for me is so they have a better vantage point when they're putting in the screw, so they'll use a little tool to go through the side of my face. If you're wondering about scars, they will fade. They're very small, they're like little mosquito bites, and I have to keep the tape on my face until I go back in for my post-op appointment because I don't want to end up taking off the tape and then tearing the stitch out or something. Like I said in my last video, there is a risk of permanent numbness, but most of the time, majority of it comes back. So if you start to feel tingling sensations, that is a good sign. That means that your nerves are regenerating and you'll get your feeling back. If you're still numb in some places a year after post-op, that probably means that that feeling will not be coming back. And you know, as sad as that may be, really just focus on the positives. Think about how much better your smile is going to be. You'll be able to chew into food. You'll be able to breathe and talk better. there's always a plus side to a negative, so just if you don't get that feeling back, just really focus on all the good things you got out of this surgery. As many of you know, after jaw surgery you can't really chew into anything, so you'll most likely be put on a liquid diet, and that will last for about a few weeks. I can't exactly say how long for sure because it really depends on how fast everyone heals, but as soon as you're off that, you'll be cleared to move on to soft foods, which includes scrambled eggs, mashed potatoes, and then based on the research I've done, at about 3 months you can start eating all the regular foods you used to eat, like, I don't know, maybe hamburgers or pizza and all that good stuff. When my surgeon finally came in, he asked my mom and I if we had any questions regarding the surgery, and I asked him how many millimeters they will be moving my upper and lower jaw, and he said probably 3 for the upper and 4 for the lower. For the upper jaw, they may widen it because it may not be wide enough, and then they're going to bring it down because I have an open bite. So the way they correct that is by bringing the front part of my jaw downward. Another thing I forgot to mention was after the surgery, your equilibrium may be messed up for about 10 days, and that is like what controls your balance, and I'm already a very motion sick person, so I'm really hoping that instead of making it worse, it might actually correct it, because for as long as I can remember, I've always been a very motion sick person, and I just hope that it ends up fixing whatever issue I have. I read one blog and it did say that it helped him after the surgery, so I was like, woo, hope it does it for me. Okay, now onto the Q&A. The first one is, what words are hard for you to pronounce? Sixth, aesthetic, 66, anesthesia, hate that word. Basically any words that have an S or a TH, I do not like them. The second one is, what foods are hard for you to eat? Pizza, chips, burritos, steak, chicken, salad, hard and chewy candy, nuts, the list really goes on. Have I ever been bullied? No, but I have been made fun of sometimes. People will go like, they'll like stick their jaw out and go like, my cousins do it to me all the time, so it's okay. What will I miss during the recovery process? Food and being able to sleep, and I don't know, I've thought about it, and maybe I'll miss my old face if my face changes a lot. I'm not doing this for a cosmetic reason. I solely just want to be able to chew my food and breathe and talk better. Have I experienced jaw pain? Yes, I have had TMJ. I get a lot of pain in the temporomandibular joint up here. It really sucks. And down here, I'll just be like talking or laughing or smiling too much, and then at the end of the day, it just hits me like a wave. Feels like sometimes someone's stabbing me in the face. It's really not fun, and I just get sore very easily. What makes having an underbite so difficult? Well, the pain for one, and then trying to disguise my smile, and my speech issues. I have a lisp and tongue thrusting, and I get so embarrassed when people notice it, or I can just tell they're staring at my mouth, and I'm like, stop please. How do I disguise my smile or speech issues? My smile in pictures, I bring up my upper lip, so I go. My speech issues, I try really hard to, enunciate, I guess, and try to talk fast, but a lot of the time I just mess up. Is this for cosmetic reasons? No, but my face will change no matter what because my jaws are moving. What is it like having an underbite? Most of the time I feel like a pretty normal kid, but then when I get into social situations where I meet new people and they don't know that I have an underbite and I catch them staring, I'm just like, I kind of clam up and I just feel very embarrassed. Do the plates or screws get removed? No, unless you have a complication later on in life where a screw is coming out through your gum. Sorry, I don't want to scare anyone, but it's happened a few times. Those are also made out of titanium, if you were wondering, so no, you will not beep when you go off through the airport, which is a plus. When can I start driving? Probably a week after the surgery. I can't be on any pain meds, which everyone already knows. Another very important question I forgot to answer was, are you scared for your surgery? And no. The reason why is I've suffered with this dumb deformity for too long, and all the pain that it's come with, the embarrassment, just the toll it takes on you as a person, it's just horrendous. And I'm just so happy, you guys. I'm not scared at all. I know I should probably be a little bit worried, because I've never had surgery before, but I'm not. I'm so happy. Like, I'll be watching other people's videos on YouTube and I'll start crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be me in a few days, and it's just such a blessing. This surgery costs a lot, and I'm very, very lucky that my family is so supporting, and friends. They're very happy for me. No one's ever said, why would you even do that? Like, they know the issues I've dealt with from this jaw deformity, so I am very blessed, and I'm just so grateful. I can't wait. I know I'm probably gonna cry before I go into surgery, because I'm just gonna be like, I've waited for years for this to happen, and every time I was like, oh, I hope I get my surgery this year. They're like, one more year. I'm like, oh, I hope I get it this year. One more year. It happened too many times to me, so it's finally gonna happen. And yeah, sorry, that was such a long answer. My next video will be the day of surgery, and it will show me getting up to go to Seattle in the morning and what I look like directly after the surgery. I don't know exactly when I'm going to upload that, but if you want to know, then feel free to subscribe. If you like this video, leave a like and a comment below if you have any more questions or comments from me. Thanks, guys. Bye. On April 2nd, I got my first round of braces. These are the pictures from when I got my braces off. I only had them for 10 months.